Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So welcome to another market stream. Welcome to another week. We are starting out the week in green, and that's good. And what's good is there are some bull signals. That's right, some bullish signals for Bitcoin. So let's talk about it, and let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world of crypto, world of tariffs, and world of Bitcoin. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome. Starting out with Bitcoin, we're looking pretty good. Just a tad below $85,000. So better than yesterday. You know, during my Sunday walk video, we were like 83, 84. So we're slightly higher than that. And the U.S. market starting out in the green, especially NASDAQ, plus 2%. This is something that I talked about in my Sunday walk video. And, you know, this comes from this that came over the weekend. And for now, this is good. So with all the tariffs and the retaliation tariffs and all that, the bread and butter, the strength of America right now is really with technology, okay? It's not manufacturing, even though Trump wants to change that. It's technology, like with computers, smartphones, you know, semiconductor chips, and you know what comes with that, like AI and so forth, right? So so there's an exemption that was put out this weekend from retaliatory tariffs for basically all electronics, smartphones, TVs, computers, anything that's like electronic based has this exemption from the retaliatory part, but not the base. So anything from China still has a base of 20%. Anything from anywhere around the world still has that base 10%, so forth, right? So it's better than before, but there's still a baseline tariff. But soon after this came out, there was some cold water thrown on it, saying that, well, this is not permanent. This is just temporary because they are working on another semiconductor like tariff that will be encompassing all these things. That's why they are exempted from the reciprocal tariffs. Okay, that's the reason why. But for now, they're exempt for a couple months. So, I mean, at first when this was released, the reason was this was going to give time for companies to find their footings, for them to, you know, for countries and to negotiate and all that stuff. And then Trump himself and Lutnick both said, no, it's because we're going to come out with something else, throwing, again, cold water on the whole thing. So it's a little confusing. But I kind of expected at least today and this week, we're probably going to see some green from a lot of these tech companies. For example, Apple. Look at Apple's up 5% today, right? They're feeling a lot better. Shareholders are feeling a lot better because now iPhones are not going to be 145% more expensive. For now, they'll just be 20% more expensive. And Apple could eat that cost. But if they were 145% more expensive, Apple cannot eat that cost, right? So that's good. That's good. So that's the latest with the tariff situation. And also the G7. The G7 central banks are going to issue their first response to the tariff chaos this week. Probably not going to be a good response. I don't envision that they're going to say anything positive or constructive. But we'll see. We will see. All right. So that's the latest tariff stuff. So the U.S. market is looking good because of it. Moving to Bitcoin and crypto, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, if you look at the ETF for last week, on Friday, we only had a net outflow of -1, which is really good, right? Slowing down from the mega outflows, the negative 100 plus every single day. We only had -1 million. So again, the seller exhaustion seems to have kicked in, which is really good among Wall Street and institutions, retail, and the buying commences. Metaplanet today bought another $26 million worth. So bring their total to 4,500 Bitcoin. You hear about buys from Metaplanet like almost every single week. They're just like a mini strategy at this point. Although their purchases are not so many anymore. 26 million here, there, everywhere. It's adding up. And then, of course, the real strategy is commencing once again. A $285 million buy, average price of $82,000, and now they hold $531,000, right? So obviously these guys are not going to stop, and nor is anyone else. And here's the funny thing. Despite all the volatility, and MicroStrategy stock has not been doing well at all within the last few months, right? But it's amazing to see that despite all the volatility, even with MicroStrategy stock, you got to keep in mind, the others like Tesla and Nvidia and Apple, they have been doing worse. The 1-year return on strategy is still better than all these other guys. Interesting. Even better than Bitcoin and gold. So, obviously, Saylor has the right strategy, which is to just load up on infinite amount of Bitcoin. And of course, that's why other people are paying attention, right? That's why we have a Bitcoin reserve as a nation now. And other nations, as you can see here, Sweden may get their own soon. I mean, everyone is starting to pay attention. So, and McDonald's in their next shareholder meeting, they're going to propose. I mean, we just had GameStop, right, approve. They raised $1.4 billion that they're ready to deploy any day now. Maybe they already bought. We don't know. I haven't heard of any news. But, Microsoft had a shareholder. They're just they're just not ready for it. But more and more companies are. They're going to vote. And soon enough, we're going to have every single major corporation on the planet holding at least a little bit of Bitcoin. It's happening. It's definitely happening. And there's not enough to go around. I mean, just people don't realize how scarce Bitcoin is. There's not even enough Bitcoin to be held by every millionaire out there. There's like approximately 59 millionaires out there on the planet. And there will only be 21 million Bitcoin. So just do the math. There's not even enough for every millionaire on the planet to acquire one Bitcoin. That's how scarce it is. That's not counting all these other companies and corporations and countries and everyone else, funds. I mean, it's crazy how scarce Bitcoin is. And the network measuring the health of Bitcoin continues to skyrocket. So there's basically no, we don't have to worry about it, right? It keeps on getting stronger as well. So it's not just the price that keeps on going up. The hash rate going up, which makes it more secure and more decentralized and something that will never be replicated again, which is a big, big deal. That in itself is invaluable. And the signals, the bull signals. Gold has been doing very well, right? Gold actually has been doing very well recently. But you know what's funny? I didn't even notice this. Every time gold somehow has like a mini spike, it tends to come down. And when it comes down, that's when Bitcoin goes into full bull mode. And you know what? It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again soon. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about why this happens. It actually makes a lot of sense. Because why does gold go up? Gold goes up, normally speaking, when there's like, chaos in the market, when there's fear in the market, when people think there's going to be a recession or there is a recession. People put their money into gold. And when do people take their money out of gold? When they want to invest and they want to maximize their earnings, right? You don't maximize their earnings in gold. If you want max returns, you put it into stocks or you put it into Bitcoin, right? So it makes a whole lot of sense. So once gold comes down, guess where all that liquidity is going to go into? Some of it's going to go into Bitcoin. And that's exactly when Bitcoin is going to start skyrocketing to the moon once again. And I think this all correlates to, again, quantitative easing, which I've said many times, and that could come as soon as next month. We're already halfway through this month. April is flying by. It's flying by. That next FOMC meeting is only in like 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. If we get that major cut, that's when things start really kicking in. If not, it's in June. But this may seem random. I see someone in the comments say it's completely random. No, it's not. It's not random at all. From a trader's perspective, Bitcoin's one day flipped the moving average, the 50-day moving average. You could see there, right? We've been basically below that 50-day moving average for quite some time, since February. So we've been on a downtrend since February, right? Like January, we peaked out, and we've been going down since then. All the tariff stuff started being announced and stuff, and Bitcoin started going down. And the short-term moving average 50 is usually like a short-term indicator or short-term like trend signal, I guess. And we've been below it for quite some time. But guess what? Bitcoin just broke out of it. And we actually we formed a bullish divergence too. So from a chart perspective, short term, this is good. This is good. This is a bullish signal as well, right? So this all aligns together. But the bigger picture is this, and I've been saying this: when in doubt, zoom out, right? When in doubt, zoom out. If you compare where we are to previous cycles, we're much stronger this cycle, first of all. And second of all, you know that, hey, we had many up and downs before. We had a lot of scary times before. But what results in all of them is that parabolic rise. Okay, every single one. And we haven't had that. We haven't had that yet. And we will. The cycle's not over. Okay? We will have that final parabolic rise. That's what we are waiting for, and it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened yet. We just have to wait a little bit longer. Right? But there are so many great things happening, and we will get through it. We always do. So when in doubt, zoom out and realize that we're still early in this cycle. Okay, we still have 8 months left in this year. And usually the major pump of the last year comes towards the end. Again, that kind of aligns where things are going anyways, right? So, a lot of great things, guys. A lot of great things. All right. Outside of Bitcoin, I know a lot of people are talking about this, which doesn't really apply to Bitcoin or anything that's going on right now. Mantra explodes and tanks 90% overnight. This is one of the reasons why I never talk about this token, this coin, because no one knows about it. It came out of nowhere. It shot up out of nowhere. Some people have asked me, what do you think of a mantra? I'm like, I have no idea what it is, because it seems like it has exploded overnight and now it imploded and dumped overnight. So I don't know. I don't really talk to people that have like, you know, have gone all in on it or have been like really bullish on it, because I don't think anyone really knows what this project is all about. But yeah, this happened yesterday, so not a good thing. Hopefully none of you guys got in it. I did hear about it. You normally don't see a project fall 90% when it's in multi-billions market cap. Last one, of course, was Luna. But this one just happened and no one was like, you know, no one was paying attention until it did. And it just seems like it's all insider trading and dumping and liquidation, and just no one really knows what's going on. Yep. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. The market is still holding, getting a little bit weaker. MicroStrategy is in the green. Coinbase in the green slightly. And the market is holding. ETH having a decent day, plus 4%. All right, let's do some Q&A. Man, I got the case on Mondays today. I woke up late. I didn't even do anything. I don't know why I'm so tired. What's the rate percentage cut looking like? It's probably still in 20%. Well, no, it dropped to 15%. Yeah. Powell just has no reason to cut in May right now. Markets are climbing up a little bit. Tariff stuff has him spooked. He needs more clarity. This is kind of what I was saying in my video yesterday. He's not going to do anything until he gets more clarity. You got tariffs being announced and then paused, announced, paused, announced, paused. He can't work with that. So we probably wait until June. June is 61%. So if it's not May, it's in June. But you know what? There still could be a chance. We still have like 3 weeks. Major things could happen in 3 weeks. Johnny says, I think Trump is going to stir waters closer to the FOMC meeting. Yeah, I mean, you know, he knows he controls markets at this point. If he says some like damning tariff stuff and crashes markets for like 2 weeks straight, that percentage is going to go back to the 50%. We were at 50% last week. So before the FOMC meeting, he could definitely stir things up again. George from Chris. George, do you still think XRP will flip ETH by June of 2025? You know what? It's getting closer and closer to that. Look how close it is. ETH has been really weak, and XRP has been doing very well. We're only 80 billion, less than half away. I think that's a real possibility. I don't know if I ever called June. Maybe I did. If I did call that, that's a pretty good prediction. But I think it's gonna happen for sure. But yeah, I did definitely call Solana flipping ETH by the end of this cycle. That's a little further away because Sol has been pretty weak recently. But I still think that's going to happen. I think both XRP and Solana will be above ETH. But XRP is going to definitely flip ETH first now. And probably June. As good as time as any. ETH was good for its time like VHS. Man, those were the days. I still remember growing up, like watching like games. I remember I recorded a Houston Rockets, when Olajuwon won. I recorded that on VHS. Never to be watched again like those days, and you have to like figure out what to, over record, I guess. Yeah, man. Seems like eternity ago. Although it wasn't an eternity ago. It wasn't that long ago. Astro says Rockets would have beat the Bulls, George. I don't know about that. I recorded some stuff over my dad's copy of the Heat and he was pissed. Going back to the Rockets beating Bulls. I don't know, man. Bulls was unstoppable back then, but like Olajuwon was so unstoppable. I don't know. I think Bulls still would have won because Bulls were playing like Bulls was playing like, you know, the Knicks and stuff. And Knicks, you know, they had Ewing and, you know, Bulls center sucked. We were dealing with like, we had like Luke Longley and Bill Cartwright and, you know, Dickie Simpkins and all those guys, right? They couldn't do anything against all the big centers back in the day. They couldn't do anything against Shaq or Ewing or any of those guys, but we still won. So I think if we played Rockets back then, we still probably would have figured out how to win. Yeah. Even though Kenny Smith thinks otherwise, but I think so. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Lakers in the playoffs. If Luca can play like the old playoff Lucas, like the way he like dismantled the Clippers back in the day, just a few years ago, if he could play like that Luca, and then we still have LeBron playing the way he does, and now AR becoming the next star, man, the Lakers are gonna be unstoppable. No one in the West is going to stop them. Um, you know, Denver's basically out. They're in disarray. OKC is not going to go do anything. The only thing is, I don't know if they're good enough to beat the Celtics. Celtics is so stacked. Celtics basically have like four All Stars. It's almost unfair to play the Celtics. Um, but you know, I'm hoping Luca, like, you know, he's like averaging like 40 in the playoffs. In those Clipper series, he was unstoppable. He was getting 44, 45, 50, like every single game. And if he could do that, then Lakers has a chance. Connect is good. They don't play him enough. And he's still too young, still a rookie. In a few years, he's going to be amazing. Yours truly. I talked about him before. Yeah, they did. But it's a project no one even talks about. It's one that I never talked about. It seems like they blew up overnight in terms of the upside and downside. It's just a project that came and went basically. Like it's supposed to be a RWA project. It's one that no one ever talks about. So supposedly a lot of insider trading, liquidation with exchanges and so forth. But no one knows what the hell is going on with it. What do you think about Chris from CDC that says CRO is going to be top 5, even above Binance? Fat chance is what I say to that. Or when hell freezes over. I did say more into Tesla this morning with the pause on chip tariff. Seemed like a good buy. You know what? I'm not trying to be a Tesla hater, but I just don't see Tesla maintaining the old sales pace like before. You know, it's the market's saturated. Everyone who wanted a Tesla bought a Tesla. You know, their new Model Y came out. I'm starting to see them, but the inventory is building up already. So I don't know. Wall Street is all about the future, right? It's not about now. It's about the future. And if Tesla can't keep upping its sales like the past, where it has the same kind of like 40% growth like it had before, then Wall Street's not going to like it. And the stock is not going to do as well, right? So keep that in mind. It is oversold, just like everything else. So it'll probably go back to where it was. But can it be a high flyer like before? Probably not. But then again, you can make the argument Tesla's and other things like robotics and AI and solar and stuff. So yeah, there's other things to it. But for cars, I think it'll go slow down. Unless they come out with a new car, like the Model 2 or something like that. A really cheap, smaller EV, then that could be a game changer. And that supposedly is being worked on. Otherwise, like, yeah, they need something else because BYD out of China is like dominating the EV space. If BYD ever came to America, like it's game over. Their cars are like twice as good for half the price. There has to be like a 200% tariff on them. Otherwise, they would dominate this space. What are your thoughts about Hype? Ran up just like OM. Yeah, Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid, a lot of people are using. It's a DEX, a perpetual DEX. So I never did like how Hyperliquid, how it blew up just like OM. I'm not gonna make the same comparison saying that it's the same. But for these projects to blow up the way they do means that, number one, the team probably holds a large amount. Number two, they employ some crazy market makers. Yeah, so those two things. So Hyperliquid came out and just like blew up. Like absolutely blew up. But I do know a lot of people use them. A lot of people do. A lot of traders do use them. They are a decentralized, perpetual trading platform. But if you look at it, they're not even on any of the major exchanges. I know I talked to someone from Coinbase that said they wanted to list them. They don't even care about Coinbase. That's kind of suspicious to me. So I don't know. I don't look at Hyperliquid. But Master, I agree about Tesla stock, but I'm hanging on for a Cybertruck and Optimus robot. I did see the Optimus robot in a showroom. It looks really cool. The Cybercab, I think that's still very far away. FSD has progressed a lot and is really good, but to be 100%, I think we're still gonna take some time. Maybe like another few years. It's still not perfect. Seven Moon said, I don't know a single person who aped OM, but many who use Hyper Liquid. Yeah, same thing. That's why I didn't make this a big deal, because I don't know of anyone. None of you guys have ever told me like I went all in on Mantra. Like this project seems to have come out of nowhere and just blew up. So when this happened, it's like, oh, okay. Like it didn't surprise me. It didn't affect me. Hopefully it didn't affect any of you guys, because it just seems like it's a project that no one got involved with. If Hyperliquid imploded overnight, that would affect a lot of people. I know a lot of people that do use it, but it doesn't mean that a lot of people are investing in it. They just use it. But according to stories like, 90% of the token was owned by the team, and then they did the OTC deals, and there was trading involved, and then, there was liquidations involved, and exchanges involved, and all these things, all insider things that no one really knows about. Very suspicious. Oh, the JoJo, the cheaper Cybertruck did come out, the single motor, but man, it's really stripped down. For $10,000 less, definitely not worth it. It's not worth it. You don't get air suspension. It's not all-wheel drive anymore. You don't get the power, tonneau cover anymore. You get smaller wheels. You don't get the screen in the back. You don't get the leather seats. You don't get the audio system anymore. You don't get a lot. A lot was stripped out for that $10,000. To me, it's definitely not worth it. You'd rather get the all-wheel drive version. Jojo, it's already out. It's already out. It's on Tesla's website already. Markets are doing well. Coinbase is coming up. Tesla doing a little better. Apple doing good. Let's see what Robinhood is doing. Oh man, Robinhood is not doing well. That's okay. It's not bad. I'm waiting for, what about GameStop? Waiting for them to announce their big $1.2 billion buy of Bitcoin. Has anyone been getting a Tesla key near you? Been seeing a lot of clips about it? No. A lot of those I think are exaggerated. A lot of those are older clips. Did you hear, like, the ones that vandalize the Teslas at dealerships now? They're getting like 20 years. They're getting sentenced 20 years in jail. It's really, I think people are starting to realize that all Teslas have Sentry mode. Every Tesla has like 8 cameras or 6 cameras around their cars. You can't get near a Tesla without it recording you. It's really stupid to try to vandalize a Tesla. But outside of that, it's just stupid to vandalize anyone's car or anyone's property, right? But it's extra stupid to try to vandalize a Tesla because it will record you. When you're walking up to it, it will record you right away, and you will get in trouble for it. I mean, I'll tell you, like, driving around my Cybertruck, I've been getting more thumbs up than anything. No one's flicked me off. No one's been giving me dirty looks. I've gotten thumbs up and people that are more excited to see it than anything. Most people are not political. Most people don't follow all the stuff that I've been covering. Most people just like cool things. Like, they see the Cybertruck, they like it. All the negativity on social media and stuff, I think they're just like, a lot of it is just over exaggerated on purpose because it's cool to spread the FUD. I mean, just like yesterday, I was at Costco. Someone was like so excited and gave me a thumbs up just to see it because he saw my Cybertruck. I mean, that's the reality. Maybe it's because where I live, I don't live in a very like liberal place. I don't know. I don't live downtown LA or something. I don't know. But I haven't had any bad experiences. Bob Smith. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, I guess that's that. Today is good. Overall good. We got a lot of bull signals. A lot of very bullish signals. And that's good. And the US market's doing good. And Bitcoin and crypto doing good. Can't be complaining today. Overall, everything's looking good. Yeah, so we'll conclude on a good note. Stay strong, my friends. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see if anything develops today. And look forward to my video or stream tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.